I think that you have some people that are spiritual and in touch with themselves and a higher being and sense of purpose that are not necessarily religious or conform to, you know, a denomination of religion, you know? And honestly, that's the kind of separation of it, in my mind, you know what I mean? And, you know, religion, spirituality, that's everybody's choice. How they choose to practice, not practice, you know, apply it to their life, work, whatever. That's on the individual. And honestly, that's always been my process with it in terms of I have my beliefs. I know how I want to represent myself. I know the work that I want to do, you know, and when you find people that are like-minded, then, you know, you kind of click up and, you know, you know, you have a natural bond, you know? But I think that to me, those are the differences. The spiritual component is part of how I balance my day to day, you know? And I think that, you know, for me, it's really about maintaining that balance, because there's a lot of pressures in society and work and family and, you know, and if you don't have a balance, you can, you know, get off skew. There's so many things that are coming at people, you know, nowadays. There's so many influences. I mean, you see and hear a lot more about anxiety and depression, and, you know, there's just mental health, you know. There's so many, I think, factors that, not that they weren't probably around 20 years ago, but they weren't as discussed. They weren't as, you know, present, you know. And because of that, now I think we're in an era where you see whether it's addiction, overdose, you know, a lot of that is prevalent, you know, in the music. And again, I think everyone is able to have their own right, you know, and how they handle themselves and what they do is the individual choice. But again, I think for me, it just comes down to, and how I live is just, you know, having that balance and sense of purpose. And, you know, I know who I want to be and how I want to represent myself and the work that I want to do. And I encourage, you know, anyone that, you know, whether it's music, fashion, whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? To take that same approach, you know? I always stay positive because life is a gift. We're reminded every day that life is a gift, right? And what we do, particularly what I do, is a blessing, and it's an opportunity that I've earned. It didn't just come to me. It wasn't just handed to me. So I don't want to put it out there as if somebody just handed it to me. I earned it. In earning it, you know, I have to be appreciative of it. You know what I mean? And I have to be thankful of it, you know? But, you know, and again, this comes from my upbringing and my parents and my father, and tomorrow is not promised. I have negative moments. I have dark moments. I'm human. We're all human. You know what I mean? And that's okay, right? But at the same time, when I have those periods, I always know that, and this not to sound like, well, happy, but there's always somebody or something that has less or is worse off or is hurting more. You know what I mean? And it reminds me to be grateful for what I have, who I am, try to fight through it, you know, and just give thanks. You know what I mean? And, you know, even from my team perspective, like, you know, it's hard to be like, let's get it. We're gonna all the time. You know what I mean? And that's where there's the balance of having the right people around you, where if they're down, you can lift them up, and when you're down, they can lift you up. You know what I mean? It's all about a circle. You know what I mean? So whether that's your family, whether that's the people you work with, you know, you got to surround yourself with the right people. You know what I mean? So that, you know, you can stay positive, you know, even when it's hard.